Zelenskyy announces upcoming meeting with Trump on peace plan. 4 European countries ready to send troops to Ukraine after the war. And how Russian propaganda fabricates fake RSW report on France's nuclear forces. The latest news next. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy will meet with US President Donald Trump in the near future to discuss a peace plan, the head of state reported. According to the President, National Security and Defense Council Secretary Rustem Umerov reported to him on his latest contacts with the American side.
We are not losing a single day. We have agreed on a meeting at the highest level, with President Trump in the near future. A lot could be decided before the new year.
President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has held a phone call with US President Donald Trump's team members Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, following which he announced good ideas for lasting peace, reported by Zelenskyy on X. Zelenskyy said the call was also attended by Rustem Umerov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council, Andriy Ignatov, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Andriy Sybiha, Foreign Minister, and his deputy Serhiy Kislytsa, and Deputy Heads of the Office of the President of Ukraine Igor Brusilo, and Alexander Bevs. Zelenskyy also added that Umerov would later hold a separate call with Witkoff and Kushner.
We discussed certain substantive details of the ongoing work. There are good ideas that can work toward a shared outcome and lasting peace. Real security, real recovery, and real peace are what all of us need. I hope that today's Christmas understandings and the ideas we discussed will prove useful. We believe this is the right approach, not to lose a single day or a single opportunity that can bring the result closer. May today's conversation become another step toward peace.
4 European countries are already ready to send troops to Ukraine after the war ends. These are France, Germany, Turkey, and the United Kingdom, according to Mikhailo Podolyak, advisor to the head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, in an interview with Noviny Live. According to him, partners must be involved in deterring Russia and deploy peacekeeping contingents. Ukraine does not intend to carry this burden solely on its own. Podolyak added that France, Turkey, Germany, and the UK have already clearly said yes to troop deployment. Other countries are still considering it.
There is a question of who will finance all this. Who will be present to integrate everything into a single system, and who will moderate the deterrence processes against Russia. That is when it becomes clear that representatives of other countries that are interested in this must be present.
According to Podolyak, each country has its own interests. Turkey, for example, wants to prevent a scenario in which the Russian regime creates security, economic, and business problems in the Black Sea basin.
In general, this war will lead to a complete reshaping of the European space. Ukraine will move toward Europe as quickly as possible, and Europe will rethink the way of life it lives today. It will become more ascetic, more militarized, and more anti-Russian.
Russian propaganda is spreading a fake claim attributed to the Institute for the Study of War, alleging that only 30% of France's nuclear forces are fit for use, according to the Center for Countering Disinformation under the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine. According to specialists from the center, the Institute for the Study of War has in fact published no materials containing such assessments. Moreover, RSW does not conduct technical audits of the nuclear forces of NATO countries.
The fake follows a typical Kremlin pattern. A fabricated statement attributed to a reputable Western institution is used to discredit France, its defense capability, and President Emmanuel Macron, as well as to create the illusion of NATO weakness.
Analysts are confident that the purpose of such disinformation campaigns is to undermine trust in European institutions. Russia's council is preparing legislation that would require bloggers to distribute state propaganda advertising, according to the Center for Countering Disinformation under Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council. A draft law in Russia would require bloggers and major online platforms to carry mandatory propaganda content, allocating at least 5% of all advertising space to messaging promoting so-called traditional values, patriotism, and culture. Under the proposal, all owners of large public channels and social media accounts would be obliged to place such content. The CCD described the initiative as another step toward comprehensive Kremlin control over social media and bloggers inside Russia. The center noted that since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, authorities have systematically co-opted bloggers to publicly justify the war and amplify state narratives. Those who refuse to cooperate, the CCD warned, face penalties up to real prison terms under law criminalizing the spread of so-called fake news about Russia's armed forces. Propaganda and information control. Control measures are also tightening in Crimea, where internet access can be cut without notice. According to Ukrainian officials, security services push for shutdowns during inconvenient periods, such as shelling, high-profile incidents, or spikes in public discontent. Mobile internet is viewed as a risk due to its role in rapid self-organization, documenting abuses and spreading unofficial information. The CCD has also flagged ongoing disinformation campaigns aimed at discrediting Ukrainian troops, including AI-generated videos and fabricated crime stories falsely attributed to Ukrainian service members, as well as fake TikTok clips alleging mass surrenders near Pokrovsk. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Support Ukraine, like and subscribe.